Part 6. If she's not always at home, all other parts down in comments. Email interchange between W and OM this evening. OM, might want to keep deleting everything until your husband's situation is over. Way to put it in an email, text seems safer. OM, well, I'm certain he's logging your cell phone, just click and delete everything. And how can someone log your cell? That's impossible. OM, or simply log into your carrier's online account and view everything. Seriously can't imagine they would go to these lengths to pretend to be ignorant. If so, then bravo to them, truly masterful. Funny thing is that they're both smart and really haven't Googled this at this point. Tired of checking emails and stuff, and for my own health will really enjoy dropping it entirely. But this is rather enlightening. How hard is it to Google iPhone text log and find out you can get deleted texts from sync backup files on your computer? Or backup drive connected to computer? Either way, the current situation is just a waiting game for them. What do they care what I see now? Like what I've showed her isn't damning enough. What on earth could they possibly be hiding at this point? That they're still talking. Would have bet the mortgage on that, and they really are still using her same email. She doesn't care what I know, but he does. What does our relationship have to do with it? Nothing. I did the right thing by leaving. Tomorrow will make a week. Suddenly easy to stay dark again. Our advocates, feel free to chime in. I know the last few days have been a lot of mood ups and downs on my end, just have never. Well, divorced before, lab results come back tomorrow. I'm guessing inconclusive, by the odds, but what the hell, could be a surprise that will make life decisions going forward that much easier for me to commit to fully. Just pretty much ready to get my stuff and be in the new place. And that can't happen for a few more days. Don't want to deal with it. But guess it's just another hurdle to get over. So I'll do it and move on as much as I can. Funny, she has gone dark since 2's now. So why should that bother me? Kind of does though, suppose it makes sense. I'm not responding to her so eventually she'd get the point, but don't worry. I'll get that out of my head soon enough. Rough couple days. I guess, tired of feeling like games are being played, just want to be straight with her and vice versa. If the latter isn't possible, I guess I just have to accept it. Doesn't help that my good friend in town is off the wagon, adding stress to my life as now I don't think I can count on his help to move out. Time to open up to some other friends and have some better support. I'll help him as much as I can, but I need to focus on myself until I'm settled. Kind of like they say to put the oxygen mask on yourself before assisting others on a plane. I need strong friends right now. Which is why I'm looking forward to getting out of town today to go visit one of those strong friends from way back. Little bro time will do me some good. It's starting to feel like if I sneak in and out that means I'm afraid of the confrontation, sure. I'm not thrilled about the idea. But don't think I'm scared. Cover of darkness was good for getting out last week and staying dark has been helpful. But now it's more of a game, at least it feels that way to me lately. I will try to call OMW again today, will leave a brief message if she doesn't answer a few times. This is Sham, you don't know me but I have something important to discuss with you, please call me when you have a chance. Prob will wait to hear lab results and then let her rip, kind of wish I had all my stuff out and the confrontation done before doing this though. Will only add fuel to the fire, okay with that, but why not wait until I'm fully removed from the situation? Rethinking now, I mean if he's truly moved out it's not like he's in a position of power anyway. My W however. She still has my house. Lots of my stuff. And the dogs as leverage if she's really pissed. Should I wait? Pandy's test came back positive. Have a great weekend folks. I have called OMW and left a message. This makes the call to her impossible to avoid, and much easier for me to be 100% confident I'm doing the right thing. I'll leave her another message soon if I don't hear back. Have a feeling I will, and soon. We all have to get tested now, and even though it's been a long time for me and W, I really can't be confident how long these things may have been going on. They really didn't use protection. As far as I'm concerned, I am fully justified and confident in being done with her forever. She can say what she wants. It won't be true. And ladies, who loans their new Vic's secret panties out? That would be no one, but you're right, she would totally say that. As far as OMW, the lab still has the sample. If she wants to test for DNA she can confirm if it's him or not. As for me, no need to confirm, W hasn't slept with me since April. Crazy world folks, this is liberating though. No more feeling bad about maybe giving her another chance to talk or if I left too soon or too harshly. Of course, I want nothing to do with the imagery of what she may have done, but I feel very out of love with her after this information. And while I'm sure I'll still go up and down, this is ironclad that I did the right thing. Talked with OMW. She suspected as much of my W but had no proof. She knew about Vegas too. He swore she wasn't there. He said he was in Florida for the week before Vegas, which was not where they were. She wants everything I have and wants to proceed with DNA test for him on the lab sample. If he denies, I just sent her an email with a load of logs. Emails, flight confirmations, Vegas, boom, she was hurt and cried some, but also was really forthcoming with info from her end about OM's lies. And was very grateful for the call, as she needed proof as to her suspicions. Oh. And they have indeed separated. So that was true. But he has denied everything for weeks and months when she tried to talk to him about her suspicions, just as happened on my end. Clearly, she's already spoken with him, as I got a text from my W saying you really are a pile. Guess I was right. Let the fireworks fly. The deed is done, now off to the doc next week for an STD array. My W just left me a voice message. Not sure if I want to listen to this thing. Once again, the right thing has been done. Time to enjoy the holiday weekend. Good luck out there, all. Text from W, guess you didn't want to work it out. Good to know it's war. Texts from STBX, do what you will, terrorize me, my friends, my family. I'm still smiling, life couldn't be better. Why are you messing with someone else's life? You are so sick. OMW informed me that based on my evidence OM has admitted physical affair with my STBX. Bullseye. She thanked me for helping her rip off the Band-Aid. She told me I'm a good man and thanked me again for calling. Glad I sacked up. Worth it to know the truth all around. She called a good friend of mine last night and asked where I was, 'cause it's war. Again with the war. For the record, I'm hundreds of miles away. And he doesn't know where I am, so that made that easy. She then said she's in a really dark place. She really screwed things up and doesn't know what to do. Sounds like a little reality there. But she then proceeded to send me a string of texts at 4 a.m., all along the lines of blaming me. For example, she is pretending to be standing up for OMW still. So you hurt this woman for no reason, but you know this doesn't hurt anyone else. Are you ill? And then something about how all I'm doing is telling everyone how cold I was in bed. Whatever. This is what I expected. May make a few brief calls today to the same friends I called first last week. Just update that things are more volatile at the moment. And that I'll be talking to them soon if they would like an explanation, which I will keep light on details. But just mention I had fully justified reason to contact OMW, leave it at that. A little damage control. Other than that, off to the gym, then good day out on the town to come. OMW has the lab results, don't know if she had to use them to get results. I told her I was kind of holding them back given my M was over anyway, as the results on my end were damning no matter who the other guy was. But that she should feel free to use everything I sent as she sees fit. I bet I'll be hearing about it from my STBX before too long, and about how sick and I must be. Good night out, great time, hung with my buddy and a couple of ladies. No worries, just playing pool and having fun. Noticed some alphas come out in me, at first just for fun. Then it was easy. Flipping crap, doing my own thing. Later at night we arrived at a bar just after the kitchen closed. My party was dejected and went to table. I then went straight back and talked the girl behind the bar into opening it for something simple to help us out. Not my usual skill set. Yes, she was tipped handsomely. Crazy dude started hanging by our table and talking incessantly. After noticing the ladies getting annoyed, I shooed him away without a conflict and kept my cool. Ladies looked at me like I was the man. Fun stuff. Turns out some of that confidence I've been building the last few weeks and months will serve me just fine going forward. None of this is a big deal. Point is it was a great time and gave me a boost. Nice. For the record, I have no interest in exposing my STBX's affair to any higher level than I've done already. It's already nuclear for her. No need to pile on the shame, it's already there for her to deal with. No contact from her yesterday, initial shock tantrum complete. We'll see how things go getting my stuff. Prob won't be fun, but I'll make it as quick and painless as I can. She goes nuts, I'll respectfully treat her like a child and tell her what will happen while I'm there. And try to keep it at that, sure. There will be some curveballs though. VAR and witnesses will help, won't bring my car, just a truck and a friend's van. We'll show up with a bunch of pre-assembled boxes and a handful of storage tubs so we can just throw stuff in quick and load it out. I'll sort it all out later. Back to the weekend. Hope you are all relaxing where you are. A few days ago, OM had mentioned to my STBX in an email that I must almost certainly be logging her text, so he presumes I put a logger on her phone or something. Which is great, because it makes her doubly concerned about what else I might know, of course. At this point, what's the difference, right? Haven't heard from OMW since Friday night. We texted a few hours after our initial talk, after she got OM to admit physical affair with my wife. I will leave her be unless she wants to talk, though I will need to contact her within 2 weeks to see if she still has any interest in running DNA on the lab sample. They said they'd hold it for a couple weeks, given she got the confession she needed, guessing it won't be necessary. But once that sample is gone, it's gone. So I should probably check in before that happens just in case. Don't really care what her plan is to say to me. I mean, sure. I do deep down, but as far as what I know and how I know she's treated this whole situation, hopefully it will be much easier than before to control the meeting and get my crap out. Like I said, if she goes into trash mode, fine, she already has. At least to me and a few friends, she can try to say whatever she wants to anyone there. And I'll warn them that she may be totally calm and cool and it'll be easy. Or she may lay into me. I'll tell them that if she goes with the latter, I will handle it myself, personally thinking using the hand and then cutting her off and saying I'm not here to argue. I'm here to get my things. This is not war, this is simply us moving on with our lives. If you want to talk with me rationally and honestly at some point, you know my number. Meantime, just let me move my things and we'll be in touch as the D process goes forward. If she still freaks after that or says, "What are you, Dr. Phil now?" Duck you, then I guess I'll tell her to leave until we're done. If she doesn't, then a friend can step in and listen to her rip me apart while me and the other guy finish up. Should be quite enlightening to the friend that listens to her tirade. And then get back to moving as fast as possible. Also, if she does blow up at me, that'll tell me she hasn't spoken with a lawyer yet. Clock will be ticking for her. Would love to have a chat with ex-husband to see what the scoop really was. Perhaps she was telling the truth all these years. And he did do and say those things to her to make her have to leave. But perhaps she got tired of him and he got the proverbial frying pan to the side of the head without warning, just as she was winding up to do to me. Her breaking down is highly unlikely, and I won't know till a moment like that happens how I would respond after so many weeks and months of insanity across the board. Would really like to think I could be strong and supportive while also asserting my position of not falling for some tears and needing to concentrate on myself. I mean, she did sleep with some guy. Hope it would be easy to remember the full gravity of that at any time from here on out. That said, I think she'll call me names and give me crap. And where was she when I was falling down? Hiding her secrets, making me feel like it was my fault. And happily webcam another dude, going lay off the cops for the visit, but I plan to call them before I head over to let them know I will be doing what I'm doing and want no incident. Audio will be recorded, video can come out the second something gets weird. Now have 3 guys and 1 girl. STBX's closest GF will be on call for diversion, confirmed tonight. She gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek and offered to help any way needed. That last one might bite me in the ass between now and then, but if so, whatever. Call me crazy. But I believe her. Just want to make this easy for all parties involved, as much as is possible. Given the circumstances. If she says she'll X herself, I think I'd hand her a spoon and say, "Go to work." Nah. She won't go there, at least not on the move out, but if she does, I guess that will warrant a cop call. She will try to show me how little my leaving means to her, regardless of what her feelings may actually be. She will throw a few jabs my way, then pretend she's all smiles, and then follow it up with a few more jabs, especially in front of the friends that are there. And I will do my best to grin a little, say that's about right, sure I'm going to miss that, and walk out. Again, I have not traditionally been this composed, but most of the time I am right now. Not saying it'll be easy. But my time away these last 10 days has been good for getting my head on straight and regaining my composure. And yes, if she had come clean early on, especially before her last trip in Vegas, I was still very interested in our last trip. Vegas was the last straw as far as showing me where I stood with her. Only can say I know what's been going on. I want you to stop it. and tell me everything from the beginning, and I'll listen so many times before the anger of being lied to and disrespected takes over. She had plenty of chances. She clearly didn't think it was important. She is so concerned about not owning up to any fault here, guys. Really don't think she'll make herself look bad in front of 3 friends and her closest girlfriend. She will talk some smack, sure, but going postal in front of her support system would show weakness on her part. So I really think she'll have to tone it down. And just to mention, the reason her girlfriend will be involved is because I met with her husband last night to chat. He said his wife would of course be there to support my was a longtime friend should. But that they both want to help me as much as possible, as they certainly don't agree with or support what my W did to cause this. Like I said, I believed him. I have to trust my friends right now. If they let me down and cause an ambush, I'll deal with it, and they will not keep my trust. I want her to know I'm in control of the situation and all, but for the long run I wouldn't want to give her any reason to actually feel she's right in saying I was acting paranoid and postal at any stage of this mess. If anyone gets that label going forward, I will prefer it be her. Not me. Does it really matter? No, but I do care how I present myself to her right now, even with R out the window. I'm in this to win now. She won't have me arrested. She knows my lawyer will eat her alive, and if she did, to make a point I think I would call her parents for bail money. My STBX is not a Jerry Springer candidate. Being cold and callous and unremorseful is not the same as being insane and willing to mess up her future. Publicly and, more important, professionally. In order to get back at me. It won't be comfortable, but it won't be in the headlines on Thursday morning. She may be acting crazy. But she is smart, trust me. And won't be putting herself in any worse situation than she is already in now. Except, maybe with me. Game time is 5:30, just called my STBX. She was very civil. I told her what would be taking place, she said. So is your plan to not live in the house? I said, yes, I've got a place and will be moving and getting myself situated. She offered to live somewhere else. I declined and said she has my number and we can talk about all these things as this goes forward. She then suggested I take both dogs, as she'd hate to split them up. I told her I'd love to take care of them both. And I could watch the other dog when she's out of town. Made it her choice. She said to take both. So, I'll see her tonight, move my things and get on with my life. Hopefully our conversation just now is a sign that tonight will go smoothly. Update. Well folks, that's what I get for opening the lines of communication today. She was indeed gone when we arrived. We busted out the bed, from the guest bedroom. Then broke down my office, gear and wires, then grabbed my golf clubs. A few plates, a few cups. And then the TV and speakers I mentioned earlier. We left, she came back, the crap storm begins, I mean seriously. I can't believe I fell for the whole civil. Let's do this thing schlock she gave me earlier today. Let the texting begin. Her, being that clearly you've made all kinds of decisions for us without talking or being advised legally, I assume everything left is mine. Fun how you get to shop the house with no discussion. It's just a TV, and everything is still ours until we work the details out. I figured you'd be there to weigh in on things. Her, oh yeah, I can really look at you after what you did to OMW. At this point I should have disengaged. I texted back saying please stop telling me what I did to OMW, told her to think about that for sec. Then said that OMW thanked me for confirming what she already knew, and that I didn't expect her, my STBX, to agree with me on that right now. But it was the truth. Then she jumped into how it's not the TV, it's the modem. She has work to do tonight, and the lawyers would love to hear how I was effing her job up. I didn't take the modem, just my router, and I left her router on her desk with a note saying for internet. She could also just plug into the modem. She claims it's not there. I specifically made sure it was. And even told my guys to leave it for her. Guessing her lawyer offered up a duck you tactic and she's playing it. Anyway, hateful texts about me being a vengeful guy, heartless, and childish liar. I told her to tell the lawyers whatever she wants and they can sort it out if she doesn't believe me. Also said I would look for it in my things and if it's there I would apologize for the mistake. Now, if it's actually missing, which of course it is not, she could call the cable company and have a new one dropped off tomorrow for $7. But that's not the point. Point is, I engaged her again and she let the floodgates open. My mistake. Back to dark. Called my guys and asked if they remember me telling them to leave it and remember me checking to make sure it was still there. They did, no matter to her of course. Guess the cop would have been a good idea. Goddamn, guess she wants to play hardball. and there's no reason to. But hey, her choice. Other than that, the move went well. She will be served tomorrow. Email sent with orders tonight. Done with this crap. Another sob story this morning about the internet, claiming she can't work and may lose her job if she can't get some files. And has deadlines. I called the cable company and confirmed that the modem was indeed connected and was responding as fully operational. Sent her a text telling her that. She said she had no internet. I said she had a router on her desk. Plug it in. Then she said she had no Ethernet cable. Possible. Maybe. I know there are 3 or 4 in one of our cabinets. But instead of telling her that and letting her just claim that wasn't true, I ran by and dropped off 2 cables on the front porch. Texted her. Took the liberty of dropping 2 Ethernet cables on the front porch. In the future, please use the borrowed car in the garage to run errands, as I am busy with work as well. She replied that she couldn't run errands as she has deadlines. And I don't. Then she said thanks. First of all, there seriously was a borrowed car from a friend in the garage, so it was clearly a power play to get me to respond. That said, without responding, that could give her fuel to tell her lawyer, who I picture as the lawyer from The Simpsons, to try and slap me with some vindictive crap about trying to hinder her ability to make a living, even though it wouldn't hold up. Why waste the time and money? Go to Best Buy. Lady, you're a big girl. Second, if she needed these files to work, then how could she be too busy to go to the store? She couldn't have been busy if that was the case. How could having a deadline prevent her from running an errand that's necessary to get the job done? You would think that would make the errand easy to justify. Instead of taking the 25 minutes to go to the store and spend $8, she chose to text me all night about her woes. Continuing on into this morning, deadlines. She needs to work on her time management, so she won by getting me to respond, but the texts also show how effing stupid her claim was. And how I responded calmly and helpfully while she spewed bull crap at me to make legal threats. Third, download the stupid files on your iPhone, sync to your computer, and start working. But then, logic left the building for her long ago. Finally, this is the last time I help her with some bull crap. From now on, lawyers it is. And I did consult my lawyer before going over there with the cables. Now back to getting my place set up so I can work and move on with my life. I feel so much stronger than I ever have, because I feel confident. I did the right things for the right reasons. I had some setbacks and made some mistakes. I would have made tons more mistakes, might even still be living at home and wondering what I've done wrong to make my wife not like me anymore. She's pretty much the most self-sufficient person I've ever known, and an Ethernet cord had her stumped. When she's out of town on a job, it's her job to run the project, give direction to the team, make sure all the details are in place and everyone has what they need. About right these days, if she can find some way to make something look like my fault, I'm going to hear about it. Speaking of which, she should be getting served at the house any minute now, guessing that will be a vindictive, vengeful, childish, immature move on my part, right? As of yesterday's civil conversation before the move, she said her lawyer needed some documents to move forward. Not the right documents, mind you, so I'm wondering if she even does really have a lawyer. But told her she had to be served papers first. I said, in the interest of the new civil tone, she could stop into my lawyer's office and sign. Or my guy could send them to her guy, or they could be mailed to her and then she could take them to her guy. She asked if I could do the latter. I said sure. Then last night happened and I decided to go with direct service ASAP because she'll prob just sit on them for as long as she can without the clock ticking. Update. So, they tried to serve her today. Now I just heard from them that she wasn't there, or didn't answer. No movement of the curtains, etc. Front and back, no answer on the home phone or her cell. They will try again tomorrow. After that I need to reassess. She's supposed to be working hard on that deadline, right? Then be home and answer the door. Either way, when they do succeed, guaranteed it will have been dishonest, childish, and petty of me to serve her that way instead of taking the decent approach of trusting her to do what she said she would. And now a text from her saying we are overdrawn, joint checking. I noticed that our health insurance premiums would be coming out, so I put just enough in to cover it because if hers went through first, then mine might bounce. I have since transferred my auto pay to one of my accounts. Joint account will be closed once all auto pays are reassigned. Then she transferred $100 out to her account last night. The health insurance went through. As much as she has acted as a cold and heartless succubus with no conscience in these last few months, I know deep down that isn't true. As I loved her and took care of her for 8+ years and received the same and more from her the entire time, before the change came. My friends and family have told me, pretty much all of them, separately, that they never would have expected her to do what she did to me these last few months. Cheated, lied, denied, blame shifted, lied, cheated again, lied more, projected, lied, and guilt me for it. A couple years of regular work travel, and one day it's all over. And now she is too. As are we. She became infatuated with some dude selling her a story of why I am not deserving of such a sexy, fantastic, fun-loving girl, actually fell in love with him over a few months of chronic texting, calls and video chat, and then physical affair, on the road, and handed over our marriage to him. I felt it, gathered evidence, and tried to stop it, but she chose to continue and let it happen against my strongest wishes, testing my strength. My strength, which I didn't remember I had. My friends in this forum have brought me here. I am gone, moved out, shocked that my months of overtures, pleas, then calm demands and demonstration of massive self-improvement for the sake of our marriage have gone essentially unnoticed and disrespected. She has no money, at the moment at least, no dogs. We've raised and loved 2 from pups over the last 7+ years. And now she has to maintain a house she can't easily afford by herself now that I've moved out. Now I'm sending process servers to make the clock start ticking, because she is showing me she doesn't care that she chilled with some guy while married to me. Her husband, lover, friend, she wants me to think it's my fault she did these things. The things I had to do to discover proof of this are sick to her. And tonight, I find myself knowing I'm doing the right thing, but also having a hard time blocking out all the good memories. There are so many. What do I do with them? Sell them on Craigslist. Feel so strong about 95% of the time. Then I accidentally run across a picture or two as I'm setting up my computer gear in my new apartment. And I'm crying with my dogs for an hour. Grown man, in charge of this, many steps ahead of her at this point in the D. But wish I could take that 5% and shove it up her face for what she's done to my great memories. I want them all back so I can throw them away, but I can't. The good times were great, but she is gone now. And now so am I. All I hear from her now is how I may insert your negative descriptor for messing with people's lives. Never anything about her months of planned adultery being wrong in any way. Tomorrow is attempt number 2 for her to be served. Hope she answers the door this time. Let's get this ball rolling so I can feel good again, different every day. Forgive my apparent weakness for love lost. My attorney tells me to put being nice right out of my head. Does it get easier to do that? Or am I in for months of method acting to end this newly defined sham of a marriage? No pun intended. Hours later, she done got served. Now we're officially moving forward. For some reason I was starting to fear she'd serve me and file first if I dragged my feet any longer. Not that I'd care really. But why lose the momentum I have on my side if I can avoid it? Interesting, she texted to tell me the papers arrived, but they looked identical to what she already has. The summary and petition for dissolution of marriage that I signed and left on the table 2 weeks ago when I left. I presume they are just now officially delivered and the clock is now ticking on the 30-day response time she has. She said her attorney needs the marital termination agreement to move forward. It's my understanding that is one of the last things we do before the divorce is final. Leads me to believe she truly did hire random guy, or just maybe she doesn't actually have an attorney yet. My response was to ask her to have her attorney contact mine to clear up any confusion and move forward. Curious to hear from my guy if he actually hears from someone. Either way, tick, tick, tick. Anyway, prob wasn't worth mentioning that. I've sent a note to my guy telling him all that. But since I feel like I'm in some kind of TV movie where things like this actually take place. My comment, I am working on part 7 as you are watching this, is getting served enough. Tell me what you think down below and I'll be back soon.